Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power. Welcome back. Um, I've loaded. I've done completely contrary to what I said I was going to do last time, and loaded two save files back. So I can just sort of speed run this shit, right? Just need to run into here, talk to this guy, run back, talk to the other two, and we can be over this little hump far, far quicker than we were last time. That was a crafty fucker. Coming from behind the fence. Oh. I guess we only have to talk to that one then. Because I'm pretty certain this file I've just loaded is from before I'd spoken to either of the other two. So I guess it's just that specific one is the issue. I kind of assumed it would just be whichever one you spoke to last, but 'tis not the case, it seems. Cool. I don't think we've been in here yet on this save file and bought the food, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Oh, different food. Alright. So I'm not buying fresh fish, you can't make me. Have a quick chomp, get my hunger sorted. Exhaustion's looking pretty good. Health is not great. Do we take a power nap? We've got time now, right? Yeah, it's only 6 o'clock. We've got 6 hours to finish this quest, and I feel like it's going to be over pretty soon. We just need to go to the graveyard, beat those dudes up, take the item, and take it back to Reuben. So, what if I take a stop off for a quick nap, 2 or 3 hours maybe. I mean, I could also just bandage, but again, I feel like if I don't absolutely have to use bandages, I should be saving them, because Meridom's easier to come by and cheaper. I feel. Don't mind me just sleeping in your bed. Let's go for 3 hours. Let's be a cheeky fuck. Well, that is not getting my health up at all, really, is it? That didn't do much of anything for me. I've noticed my immunity's fucked as well, actually. Let's try and do a little something about that. Don't know if you heard that. Whoa, what the fuck? What have I done? What have I achieved? How did I... What? Okay, pushing the left stick in on the controller apparently puts you into that mode, whatever that mode is. That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, my controller was plugged in again, so it just vibrated off the desk when I ate all those pills. But I don't know what that was for. I don't. That might be like a really useful mechanic that I'm just not aware of at all. Like maybe I can like scan for traces of infection or something with my RoboCop eyes. I don't know, but I gained like no health back, so we're gonna have to bite the bullet and use a few of these. Yeah, learned a new mechanic today. I really don't know what that mechanic was for, but I learned it. Good for me. Good for me. I wonder what the button to do that... Like, I feel like I pressed every button on keyboard when I was trying to work out controls, like, many months ago. So I don't know what the keyboard equivalent of that is. Let's do a save here. I'll save over this file, sure. Hey up, boys. Was this body bought from an infected district? I need it for my work. Spot on. 10,000 money? Are you out of your mind? You'll give it to me since that is my order by the name of Governor Sabarov. Silence, know your place. There we go. I'm not paying that money. That 10,000 is a stupid amount of cash. What the... Why do I keep... Hey.
No, I can't stand it much longer.
Keep your voice down and listen carefully. I've told these people you're not the person who ordered the butchers to cook corpses. Thank you, I appreciate that. I had to concede that there's an unknown ripper on the loose, twice a criminal, for daring to raise his knife against the inviolability of a body and not defiling the sacred peace of the dead. I told them you weren't the real ripper, and they've started a manhunt for the real one. Good move, it will put them on a false trail. The patrolmen are keeping watch at the cemetery. Right now there is no one there. I will task them with blockading an infected district, and I will dispatch the next shift of guards to the cemetery in 10 minutes, do you hear? 10 minutes after you leave. You have a 10-minute head start to do what you need to do. Thank you, Governor. I appreciate and understand what this act has cost you. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Run, 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 run. 10 minutes we've got, which is very little time in this game. We'll go back through the infected district. It's not the smartest move, but it is the most direct move. He says immediately leaving the infected district. Whatever, fuck it. We've committed to this direction now. Yeah, I don't think that was winnable. That fight with the guards. I really don't think that was winnable. I don't know, maybe it was. If I'd been a bit better at not getting punched, but the fact that it kept like making me black out made it exceptionally harder to win what is already a very difficult fight, because it's a 3-on-1 against quite difficult enemies. Like, don't think that was going well. I mean, I could have pulled out my gun, I suppose, but it didn't feel like high enough stakes for the gun just yet. There's definitely going to be better times for that gun to show its worth, I can guarantee you that. Plus, as I say, seems like old man Sabarov has proper hooked us up anyway. Good lad, that Sabarov. You know, I scratch his back, he makes my back slightly less likely to spontaneously combust, so we'll take it. No one does you real favours in Pathologic, don't get me wrong, but dogs are friendly, right? We've established this, yeah. Yeah, it was never any chance I was really gonna have an easy time of things, but he made it less awful, and I appreciate that. Big man Sabarov. I mean, them talking about them starting a manhunt and everything presumably means they're all going to be going after my good friend Artemy Barak, who we still have yet to meet, I think, right? We saw him in that one cutscene at the theatre, but we've yet to actually interact with him. I'm assuming that will come in due time. Right? Maybe? Hopefully? Perhaps? Give me this. Yeah! Is that exactly what we were after? Corpse blood. The blood must be analysed. Yeah, I mean, I assume so. I assume that's what we wanted. I thought it was flesh. I thought he specifically asked for flesh, but maybe I misinterpreted somewhere. That feels like the thing that we're here for. Right, so we just need to get back to Rubin before the day is over now, which is fast approaching, honestly, so let's get moving. Might be making this one by the skin of the old teeth, you know? I'd like to point out, historically, teeth don't have skin. Historically. I think it'll be very weird if they did, honestly. If you opened your mouth and there was just like 2 rows of sharpened skin, top and bottom. Why is my health so low? I know I got punched twice, but I guess that's the reason, huh? I got punched twice. It's not great for the old body. Quite realistic, this game, actually, in that punching actually hurts. It's actually, you know, potentially fatal to get a badly timed punch, you know. Whereas in most video games, like, you punch for 1 damage or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. I see the building. No worries, no concerns. Not a single fear. Easiest quest I've ever done. Rubin. Bought you some blood, mate.
What is this disease?
Finally, the operation's been a success, I hope. It was, if such dubious endeavour can be called an operation at all. Microscope is at your service, colleague. May you be the first to make the discovery. Much obliged. Blood. Okay, what am I looking at? What does this mean? People have little trees in their blood. Or is it these little chocolate chip cookies? Are they the problem? Or is it these little pepperonis? Which one's the problem? I assume these are red blood cells, right? I don't know. What does that mean? Help, I don't understand. So what did you see there? Everything's dead. The dead tissue would not allow the microbial culture to survive. We might have tried to force the bacteria to reproduce. The problem is there's no bacteria left. The culture has perished. This is bad. Quite the opposite, colleague. This is outstanding. What we've discovered allows us to suggest that the sand pest does not linger in dead bodies. As soon as it kills an infected person, it leaves. It needs warm blood, rich in oxygen, to survive. How do you think the bacterium kills, Bachelor? It causes a massive contamination of the blood. In so doing, it overloads the cardiac muscle. In all likelihood, the infected suffer a stroke. That is something we didn't know before. So in order to acquire the potent, living microbial culture, we will need to get our hands on a still beating heart. That is borderline absurd. We can start to research your vaccine now. Can you have that unique source of yours? I do. In any case, our work must no longer be delayed. Not after the new hope today has brought. What does this mean? Firstly, it suggests that something as simple as house walls might provide a certain level of protection. Secondly, that the killer's life cycle is very short. Therefore, there is a natural restriction on how fast the disease can spread. As soon as the infection kills whoever it carries, it dies. This is a very weird conversation, because you'd expect, you know, my character to ask this and the NPC to answer this in your standard video game, but it's kind of ass backwards around here, isn't it? This means the disease can be fought? Yes, there is hope. Although the enemy is invisible and ubiquitous, it is far from invulnerable. We have found at least one weakness. Hooray! Okay. What does this mean for me, though? Got a lens. Lenses like this can be set into an optical apparatus and used to identify dense clusters of infected particles. Different lenses sets allow for early detection and identification of different types of infected clusters. Okay, this is clearly going to be a mechanic. This is going to have to be something I'm going to have to engage with at some point. Also, that music in there was a banger, and I'm kind of sad I left. I was really enjoying that. I don't think I've heard that particular rendition of the theme before. Had like a, I don't know, something like a cool synth line in it that I wasn't familiar with previous to now. How are my vitals doing? Immunity's good, hunger's good, exhaustion's alright, infection's good, health is low. Wondering if I should just like go sleep again and use 2 Meridorm this time, because 1 clearly didn't make enough of an impact. And by I wonder if I should do that, what I mean is I'm going to do that. She's gonna sleep in Capella's bed, she won't care. She's fucking whacked out of her gourd half the time anyway. She's not going to be paying attention to what I'm up to. Boop, boop. Wow, that just maxed my exhaustion, did it? Okay. 3 hours sleep?
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theatre.
Okay, I'm sleeping for 2 more hours first though. Good. Hunger has now crept up as a result. That's fine.
Soon, I hope.
I do have a little bit of food left. Gonna have to stock up on that again pretty soon though. Or like now, I guess. Not really got much else going on, do we? No major pressing concerns, so why not buy some food? Saved ourselves 10 big ones from that previous quest. I'm very glad I did as well. I half considered spending it because I do actually have it, which is very rare in this game to have that amount of money. But considering all I got from that entire endeavor was a lens, and I guess the information is useful from like a plot standpoint, but from like a, you know, game mechanic standpoint, I didn't really gain anything too exciting from that. Why is my immunity fucked again? What the hell? I didn't even notice that. Right, okay. About as good as my vitals are likely to get. Let's stop by the theatre. See the new mime performance that everyone's raving about. The latest hot Broadway show.
So,
It stays away from dead bodies, disappearing from corpses without a trace. It's been established that you can outweight it if you're careful and discreet. The glass will keep the best, as it's supposed to.
what does it mean?
It means we have a fighting chance. The infectious agent only sticks to living matter and is repelled by dead surfaces. Those who remain indoors are more likely to survive. Scurrying and making a fuss means death. All in all, we can fight.
You self-serving jerk. You've got your own agenda, haven't you? You're always up for a fight. You just need an adversary. What about the people?
Hush, don't you get in his way. He seems to have a plan.
It's all wrong. It's no good at all.
Hello. Yep, I definitely know what all of that meant. I am intimately familiar with the exact metaphorical and philosophical meanings of that entire show that just happened before me. It's nice to actually know what the fuck they're talking about, though. Like, the theatre performances themselves are just baffling, but like the oh, hold up, hang on. Careful here. But yeah, in my fuck it, whatever, we'll commit. Nope, we're not committing anymore. In my previous playthrough, all the chit chat that goes on before the performance was always just go straight over my head. I'll just be like, oh yeah, they're talking about something. It seems like they've discovered some stuff about the disease, I guess. But like, during the Bachelor's campaign, I seem to actually be in the thick of that. I seem to be the one actually making the discoveries and stuff, so that's interesting. Nice to feel relevant to the plot for once. Miss me, lad. I don't know how he missed me. I really feel like he did actually stab me there. Credit where it's due. I think he did a good stabbing. Thank you. You got anything worth looting? No? Okay. So where are we going? There's a food shop just this way, I think. So maybe we'll head this way. This is like the courtyardy area, right? Yeah, we're at the wrong end of it, but we're fairly near. Fairly near a food shop. Don't know why I sounded like a fucking DJ scratching a record there. Where? I'm very good and a very confident public speaker. Don't you worry about it. I know exactly what I'm trying to say and don't at all just let my lips go wild. It's not a sentence I'm glad I said. I'll tell you that much. That was my lips going wild right there. Well, that got more expensive, didn't it? Day 4's another pricey one, it seems. Still gotta buy food, though. Still gotta live, you know. There's a knife boy around here. I guess he despawned because I went in and out of a building. It's a shame. I quite value my my options for murder. They're quite useful, generally speaking. Doing good on water bottles though, aren't I? Next time I find a drunk, I am buying all of the bandages. Literally every bandage that anyone has ever owned will be in my personal ownership. The ship of owners. What am I even doing right now, man? It's wild how this game swings so violently between like panic-induced optimal gameplay, sort of have to get this right or else everything will go to shit moments, and moments where you just have like nothing to do and are just sort of hanging out. The dynamic range of this game is honestly quite impressive. It'd be hard to stab you coming upstairs, isn't it? Oh yeah, got one. Actually, it might be harder for him to hit me, if we're being honest. That might have been the optimal approach. Might have been. I'm not saying it was necessarily, but it might have been. I guess we'll stop by Eva again so she can tell me about how bored and crazy she is. Try and lure me into bed with her feminine wiles. Well, I'll not fall for it, woman.
Have you heard? They have started to distribute the experimental vaccine. There's too little of it, though.
What experimental vaccine? I thought I was the one developing the vaccine. Where's that come from? All hope is gone. I've set up a whole laboratory upstairs. I hope that's fine with you. I understand it can be rather annoying. It's nothing. Nothing at all. In my case, I won't be staying here much longer. What's that supposed to mean? Do you know why our cathedral remains empty? Cathedrals are left empty when those who believe in everlasting life go extinct. You must be very clever. Very much so. That's why I'm here. I have no reason to be modest. I am the smartest man to ever live. Where's this laboratory I've apparently set up then? Aha! Cool. I don't seem to have anything to look at, but I do have a microscope now. Which means I don't have to go to Rubens in order to use one. Should the need arise. Helpful. I don't know when I set this laboratory up. Maybe it was during those moments when I was blacking out in the graveyard. I sleepwalked over to here and set up a laboratory, then sleepwalked back to Sabarov's place in order to regain consciousness, just in time to be told that he's going to grease a few wheels for me. I don't think there is a food shop on in this part of the map, right? I know there's a medicine shop, but I think that's it. Over in this area that I consider to be the posh part of town. Don't know if that's fair to call this the posh part of town, really. It does seem like the more noble looking NPCs wander around here, the ones in like the fancy suits and shit. And the Kane's extensive manor is over here as well, and the polyhedron. Whereas all the factories and stuff are on the far side, and the middle bit's like the middle bit, right? Like a three-tiered class system, from right to left. Might be reading too much into that. But conversely, I also may not be reading too much into that. Who could possibly say? Oh, well, that was a knife man, but it's a drunkard. Is he drunk or is he just grooving? That's the question. Has he just got his Walkman on and he's just walking to the beat? I don't know what time period this is supposed to be set in. I've yet to process that, because I mean that guy's wearing like a leather jacket and shit, so it's like it feels fairly modern age from that perspective. But like just the vibes of the whole place feels very like early 1900s, late 1800s sort of shit. Is it meant to be like 1950s sort of Russia sort of time? It's obviously like that part of the world wasn't quite as culturally developed, I guess. Is that the word I'm looking for? It lagged behind the West a little bit, although they did obviously develop pretty hard in some places, like spaceflight and shit. But like small towns in particular, I feel like were maybe still a bit antiquated at that sort of time in history. I don't know. I'm not really particularly good on history or geography, so I'm really the wrong person to be commenting on this. I saved you. Don't have to say thank you or anything, it's fine. You just go about your business. Like I protected you from being gutted like a fish or anything. It's fine. Like I'm desperately in need of some small amount of encouragement or acknowledgement. It's fine. Not like I have deep-rooted psychological issues that require me to have constant praise heaped upon me in order to feel any sort of worth as a person. It's fine. Meat shop. We found one. We found one. I wasn't really specifically looking for one, but I've had sort of like my eyes open for just stumbling across one for a while now. Oh, this one's got quite a healthy stock. Expensive stock, but a healthy stock nonetheless. We'll take your dried meat. We'll take your smoked meat. We'll take your dried fish. I mean, the walnuts are cheap and we can trade them for good things, so we'll take those as well. Dope. Hunger's not actually that bad, but better safe than sorry, right? There's no reason not to keep it down if we can. Letting it tick up is not really ideal. It's the sort of thing that's like always just going to go up steadily regardless of my actions, so like there's not like an optimal time to eat or anything. We should just eat if we can. Oh. Well, well, well. What's happened here? I have no desire to go further into this part of town, but I will have a quick trade with this guard, I think. Yes, 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 yes. For 5, I can get a vegetables. Honestly, probably worth it. Honestly. Like, it's quite expensive, but what else am I going to use the claws and twirine for, realistically? What else am I gonna hold on to those for? I don't even think either of them can be traded with anyone. Maybe the razors. The razors can go to blonde boys, possibly. But like, I'd rather have food than anything they're offering anyway. So I really have just been walking backwards and forwards for half this evening, haven't I? It's nearly morning now, though. Can't wait to find out what exciting things happen on day 4. And by exciting, I mean horrific. Painstaking. Dangerous. Why is my infection, like, there? I wouldn't say that's high enough to be concerned about, is it? It's not like it's just gone up or anything. Well, maybe it has just gone up, but I don't know what would have made it go up. I was having a knife fight, not a dirty needle fight. He says as if wounds can't get infected. Is that a thing? Does your infection go up when you get hit? It's entirely possible. It's the sort of absolute heinous shit this game would definitely do. I still don't really have any means of getting my infection under control either, so something we need to be very wary of. On that subject, actually, do you sell anything to cure infection? Oh, Novocaine, which doesn't cure infection, but it is a stronger version of Meridor. Gonna need some alpha tablets, aren't I? Do I just stock up? Yeah, I think I just do that. I know I can trade them off Blonde Boys as well, but the rate I'm getting through them, I feel like it's nice to have a decent collection. What's going on over there? Pretty much what I expected to be going on over there. Don't stand up until I reach you. I don't want you to throw the knife at me. Fuck. Shit, fuck. Good dodging, Joe. Expertly done. Expertly done. It's 5 minutes to 7. Look at that. We'll be having a new letter and quest and announcement of deaths pretty soon. That's something to look forward to, isn't it? We can all get really excited about how many people died today. Hey. Narrowly avoided. Ah, fuck. We're loading again. We're loading again. I know it's scummy. I know. I just can't accept it. I just refuse to accept this is my lot in life. Wish I could throw my knife. That'll be cool. That'll be a fun ability to have. A little bit early there. A little bit late there. Oh yeah, that camera wobble was really helpful for this combat situation I find myself in. The powers that be get increasingly worried it all ends in less than 9 days. Day 4, by the end of which the Bachelor realises that the town is unprepared for an epidemic of this scale. Wow, that means we've got a lot to look forward to today then, doesn't it? I do love the prophecies that we get. Oh. Wow, that infection is spreading pretty rapidly, huh? Half the fucking town already. I mean, I don't really want to go into the infected area, to be honest with you. Doesn't sound like a good time. We've not had any letters through yet today, have we? No. Nothing in today's quest. Okay, I guess we're still just killing time then. Let's do a little bit more window shopping. What things do you have to say? Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Useless. Honestly useless. Hey Vlad the Impaler, do you have any useful tidbits on today?
It's fine, but the boy...
Greetings, Honourable Doctor. Our job is almost done. Are you satisfied? Well, that depends on how well you've done it. We did well. Although it was a challenging task, the so-called waste house has been proved to be an ideal location, so we've cleared it up to refashion it into a morgue. As for the isolation ward, it will be founded at the Ravels. Well, as far as I know, Laura Ravel is planning to turn her house into a small shelter for a dozen people tops and nothing more. She agreed to undertake urgent steps. You know how fast the disease spreads better than anyone. Too many people are striving for a safe haven. An isolation ward is not a shelter, it's a sludge tank for people hailing from extremely unsafe places, which under the circumstances basically means everyone who's been outdoors. You consider a mansion to be an inappropriate place for this? I'll take a look at it. What about the other facilities? The hospital is almost ready to be opened. I'm not sure there's much sense to it though. Unlike the morgue, everyone has already admitted the disease to be the sand pest. We've chosen one of the standard houses. You'll like it. Hopefully no one was deprived of a roof over their heads, were they? Of course not. We wouldn't be so harsh as to drive people out of their homes, even in case of emergency. Don't worry, Doctor, there isn't a single soul living in that house. Anymore. Obviously, it's not one of the houses that were infected yesterday, is it? Well, actually it is. Nevertheless, we've made the most peculiar observation. There isn't a single trace of infection in the houses today. We've learnt it by chance, thanks to the marauders. They stalk the places with no antibiotics whatsoever. Victor Kane would like to discuss this matter with you. I'll examine the houses you have arranged for. If they meet minimal sanitary requirements, go ahead and start directing the sick there. Later, I'll come back here to inform you that it's time to announce the hospital situation to the general public. Okay, was not honestly expecting a quest out of this. But cool, I guess. Something to do. We've been told to speak to Kane, but he's not marked on the map yet, so I guess we just need to check out the morgue and the isolation ward. And I mean, he's mentioned the hospital, but he's not marked that one on my map. He's right though, to be fair. Like, we have established that the infection just dies like immediately when the subjects do. When the infected do. So, a previously infected house is fair game, realistically. No harm done. Is it this building right in front of me? It is, yeah. I don't think I've ever been in this one before. I think this one was locked for the entirety of the other campaign, so... should be exciting, shouldn't it? Might get in this door. To the other end? There's a fence. Is the fence going to stop me from getting to the other end? Fucking hell. It's the little things that Pathologic does, isn't it? It's not like it summons a big demon to come and one-shot you from the sky or something. It's just annoyances upon annoyances, building eternally and forever. They wear you down, they grind you down. What's the point of coming in here? Not really anything in here. A bucket. For a morgue, it sure has very few corpses in it. Is there something I meant to interact with? Oh, there's a chest. Is there something I meant to interact with in here? Am I missing something? Doesn't really seem like it, does it? Oh well, this was a massively pointless detour. Let's go to Lara's. You know, there is exactly one other video game Lara, and they're... Actually, maybe they're not that different people. They are both rich white girls at the end of the day. One of them just, like, focuses her rich white girl energy on, like, philanthropy and trying to help the sick, and the other one is more interested in locking her butler in the freezer and stealing ancient artifacts from natives. I do have a soft spot for the OG Tomb Raiders, though. I tried to, why did I think that trade wasn't working? Whatever. I tried to go back and replay the first Tomb Raider on my Sega Saturn, the best console ever made, officially. But goddamn, like, that early 3D era, man. That early 3D era where, like, for some reason people thought tank controls were the way to go. I mean, obviously it's difficult to incorporate full 3D movement onto, like, a controller that only has a D-pad available. I understand that, like, it was never going to be straightforward, but... Did they not play the game? Did they not, like, try things a little bit and think... Like, move forward, move backwards, move left, move right makes just infinitely more, like, natural sense than move forward, move back, turn left, turn right. You know what I mean? Obviously you need a way to turn, but I mean the Sega Saturn and the PS1, which were both the consoles that suffered with this the most, had shoulder buttons. You know what I mean? You could have had turn on the shoulder buttons. I don't know. It's just unhinged. Just absolutely unhinged. But it was, admittedly, it was only a very short period of time before developers started to realise, hey, maybe this isn't the right way to go about these things, but it did make a lot of, like, games which could be really fun classics to return to, like, borderline unplayable by today's standards, which is a shame. Okay. Victor Kane's invitation. I was informed that our major concern today is to prepare the town to defend itself in the face of the calamity that has befallen us. Although it is the Olgimpsky family who are in charge of these issues, we would like to contribute as much as we can. Besides, something tells me you're not going to be all that happy with the yieldings of Vlad's undertakings. Please find a moment to discuss a certain idea with me. Victor Kane. Alright, Victor Kane. I will definitely take a moment to do that. Still going to Lara's first, though. She's priority one right now. After all, you have to remember, I spent a lot of money on providing her with food, so she owes me one. Don't know what she could possibly provide for me, but you never know. Might be useful. Okay. Has my infection just like been slowly creeping up all day today? Is this going to be a thing? My immunity's shot again as well. Holy fuck. What is going on? What is happening?
My heartbeat is uneven. I am sick at heart.
We're all sick at heart, love. I'm so glad nothing bad happened to you yesterday. Is it true you're planning to host an isolation ward? Do you realise what that entails? I didn't have a choice. Didn't have a choice? Why? I had to do it to protect the privacy of certain information, a good name of a certain person, and most likely the life of another one depend on it. Surely that's reason enough. Forgive me, it's uncomfortable for me to talk about it. Lara, this is suicide. I'll issue an order to relocate the isolation ward to an abandoned house. Don't. It's me who wants the isolation ward to be here. Then people will remember this house and connect its good reputation to our family's name. Fine. Have it your way. It's tough, but that's what it has to be done. Then that's fine, I'll make do. There won't be too many patients, even fewer of them strangers, but we're out of water. We need to arrange for it to be delivered. Vlad the Younger can help with that. He knows the local water supply chain like the back of his hand. What? You have no water? How is that possible? Well, it's not running anymore. I don't know why. The pipes are empty. They produced rusty, clotted liquid of reddish colour for a while, but then that was gone too. You can sort this out. Perhaps Vlad the Younger could be of help, like I just said, if you were fucking listening. He's been making himself busy with water pipes, wells, and the likes for years. I think it's personal. He treats water as if it's liquid gold, and procures it just as eagerly. Alright, I'll talk to him about it. Wee young Vlad once again coming through for the people of this town. What a hero, honestly. What an absolute legend young Vlad is. I think, yeah, we're closer to the Canes, though. We'll swing by Victor first, and then make Vlad our next stop on the chain. But my voice is going, man. Can you hear this? Can you hear how croaky I am today? I don't know what's going on. I think I've just been talking too much. Been chatting too much. Need to rein my tongue in a little bit. Maybe I'll just sit here and hum quietly to myself instead of talking. That's good content, right? That's what you all come for on a YouTube video. It's essential that all humming is just like completely tuneless as well. There can't be an actual like recognisable cadence or rhythm to it. You just have to make humming noises, like whistling as well. Whistling also has to be the worst auditory experience you could possibly ever experience in your life. It is essential. Aside from the only case of good whistling in the history of existence is the whistling solo on Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. That is the single case of whistling being good. The only time. Any other time someone's whistling, they're doing it wrong and shouldn't be. You're not Victor, are you? Alright, I'll come by later. You're the wrong cane. Sometimes you get the wrong cane. That's just how life is, you know? That's just how things happen sometimes. You can be dreaming of the perfect cane for you, but unfortunately, there are canes which are just not suitable for the correct circumstances. Hello.
Who is it walking upstairs?
I don't think you have an upstairs, mate. A new phenomenon has manifested itself today. It may be of interest to you, as it is admittedly is to me. We may have stumbled upon a mystery whose solution may have far-reaching consequences. This concerns the Skinner's district. It's remarkable how this microorganism seems to penetrate walls and permeate the air. It's not supposed to. The microbe doesn't survive long outside of a nutrient-rich environment. Indeed, you're reading my thoughts. The Skinners have died out, supposedly. It was to become entirely free of infection. The streets, the walls, the various objects, and even the corpses, everything is clean. People can safely touch bodies that only recently were a very strong source of infection. Yes, that does seem to fit with the discovery I made yesterday. If these rumours are true, we'll start making the abandoned homes ready for new tenants. I can foresee us soon needing to find room for refugees from the other infected districts. We'll give them provisional lodging at the vacant houses. I'm sure you understand that in order to make such a risky decision, I must be absolutely certain. What can I do to help? Take a look around the Skinners, check inside the houses. If they're truly clean, find something that could prove it. And of course you may use the abandoned property as you see fit. Better you than the looters. Yes, that's promising. I'll be back with a report. Interesting. I am a bit concerned that there's going to be looters in these houses when I go to investigate them, because looters are... Yeah, I think it's fair to say that looters are the hardest enemies in the game. I think that's honestly fair. I would struggle to name something more difficult to overcome than a looter. And that includes the people with flamethrowers and the people with guns, which is crazy, because looters have neither of those things, but they are still inherently ridiculously dangerous enemies to come across. So that's something fun to look forward to, isn't it? That's something fun that I can't wait to stick my face into and savour the glory of having every part of me sliced off in a horrible, gruesome manner. Hooray! Don't look at me like that. This is I'm walking down the street talking to myself. It doesn't mean I need that sort of judgment. I'm the person here to save this town, you know? And if your drunkards could kindly have a better supply of bandages, then maybe I'll be able to save this town all the better, you know? It's really the drunkard's fault when you think about it. deep down, they may be like the poor downtrodden of society, but realistically, everything is their fault. Trickle up economics. Hello.
Did you hear that? Did it come from inside the well?
No, it didn't.
Or am I getting the jitters?
You're getting the jitters. A rough crowd demands rough measures. I sincerely hope you wouldn't get it in your head that I'm enjoying this. How come there's no water in the town? The water supply has been sabotaged and ruined. To be more precise, we lost the purifying stream on the water intake that supplies water from the Gorkin to people's homes. How did that happen? The local blockheads, egged on by some overly active taskmaster, destroyed the water supply to prevent infected water from getting into the town. Can you see it now? I'm telling you, the crowd is rough. Damn it, what should we do now? If I were you, I'd seize the cathedral and the theatre as soon as possible. Those buildings have access to spring water. Although with dangerous zealots popping up, the town's springs are to be feared for as well. Who knows what those idiots will think up next? Are you planning to find them, by the way? Of course. They're very likely to be hiding in the same dens as the runaway rebels, which does, by the way, give you food for thought. But never mind that. In any case, it would make sense to speak with Aspity. It would be rather disappointing to die of thirst while everyone is busy dying of the sand plague. Let's do our best to make sure nobody dies of thirst. In order to start arranging water deliveries and post guards at the Sugag Kadug Spring, nailed it. It won't be enough for the whole town, but that's better than nothing. You should hurry up and seize the springs at the Stone Yard and Spinner Yarn Square. That is the cathedrals and the theatre springs. Let's do it then. Let's fucking do it. Why have I got Olgimsky marked? There's so many hands. I thought I was meant to be going to the theatre and the cathedral. Neither of those are marked, but fucking everything else is. Oh, we've got lots to do then, lots to see, lots of places to go and lots to overcome, and I will probably, at this point, be doing all that next time. I'll see you around.